Okay, so hello, my fellow humanoids. This is gonna be an interesting video because I wasn't actually even originally planning on making a video today, but since I wasn't feeling like streaming either, and I had already gotten up and gotten dressed and such, put something to my face so it doesn't look like complete shit, I decided, oh, well, I guess I might as well at least film something. Because I'm not feeling particularly cheerful, which is why I didn't want to stream. I guess I should talk on something a bit more serious and personal topic, because yay, you love to see that, right? So I was thinking I could actually touch on the issue I'm currently having, which is why I'm not feeling up to streaming. And that is the combination of having ADHD, autism, and depression. So yeah. I've been struggling with depression for a long time. Like, I first started to experience some symptoms when I was like around 10. So it has been a lifelong struggle of mine. Oh, I gotta love how the lighting just decides to change randomly. Okay, it's better now. And it's just, for me, it never really goes away. Sometimes I have better times and it's more on the background, it doesn't really bother me much, but then at other times it just makes functioning kind of impossible. Now, the real trouble is, like, when you have depression, you have very few spoons at your disposal. So, like, it's hard for you to have energy to do anything. But then, when you have ADHD and autism, doing just your everyday regular things takes up so much more energy. So there's the problem of having very little energy, but then every single thing taking up so much energy. It's like, oh, you can't really get shit done, can you now? I'm more so wanting to tell people more about how ADHD and autism go together, but well, also obviously how having depression on top of those makes it near impossible to function. So thanks to autism, I have a lot of interests. I'm really into many things, but also thanks to ADHD, I can't really stay focused on any one thing for a long time. So it's just, and then depression makes it even harder to just keep up doing anything. And it's just all the nice things suddenly become stressful things. Like, I have so many ideas that I would like to stream or make videos on or whatever, but then just actually doing it takes so much energy, which I don't have. It also is hard to try to prioritize. Like, my brain is constantly bustling with ideas. I literally have at least 2 or 3 trains of thought going just haywire in my brain, and well, I always have at least something stuck in the back of my head, like a song on loop. There's always music in my brain. There's never a quiet moment. Literally never. Never. From the moment I wake up, I have something stuck in my head. Some sort of earworm, or not even that much of an earworm, just something. Sometimes it can even be some stupid sentence. It's the most annoying when you get some random sentence stuck in your head and you just feel like constantly saying it. So anyways, it's super difficult for me to make things happen because there's all these different trains. Like, there's so many train tracks, like kind of in a video editing program. Light bills. There's all the different tracks. I have a video or audio or something going on every single one of those tracks, and I sometimes can change like which track I'm mainly focusing on and which is the one in the forefront. So, well, being on the forefront meaning it shows up in the topmost layer. But sometimes I can't even control it. Sometimes the music just brings itself up to the top of the priority list and I just can't help humming to myself or being very annoyed if the song is annoying or something like that. But yes, I have so many of those tracks. Sometimes I can even have 5 different trains of thought. Like, there's something bringing up some new ideas, and then there's the other voice like being like, oh yeah, this is nice, but how about we have an interaction like this and that? And I have often like whole discussions in my head between like 2 different people in a way. Well, it's not actually 2 different people. It's just me monologuing, but in taking 2 different roles, if you catch my drift. And then there's always also a meta commentary, like some thoughts thinking about how I'm thinking thoughts. And it's so annoying and so frustrating and so fucked up to have a brain that works like this, because it makes it so hard to just focus on anything, to make anything really happen. I have so much creativity. One of the ways I've tried to combat all this, what I like to call creative anxiety, is that when I get an idea but I feel like I can't do it right now, I'll put it down on a note in my phone notebook, so then I can maybe later come back to the idea when if I ever have more spoons. So I actually have a list of like 20 or so video ideas, and before starting this I looked at them and was like, I wonder if there's anything I could talk about now. So that's a pro tip if you're struggling with anything similar. So just write down all the ideas when they appear, because the odds are you can't just make them happen when the ideas come. But it's also frustrating, like, I have so many ideas that I struggle to choose only one. Then I also have these moments when I'm just feeling bored, but nothing really feels like worth doing, and that's the depression talking. The brain is like, I'm kind of bored, we should maybe do something now. Like, okay, well, how about we do this thing? We've been thinking about doing this project for a while. Then it's like, nah, not that one. I'm not feeling that. What about this one? Nah, not really feeling that one either. Then they're like, what the fuck do you want me to do? Like, if you're bored, we need to do something, but now you don't want to do anything. It's like, yeah, I don't want to do anything. Just bored. Although I don't want to be bored, but I'm bored. And it's like, you just can't win with a depressed brain, really. So yeah, I've been recently struggling with, first when I started streaming and making YouTube, I was struggling with having way too many ideas. And because I couldn't choose which ideas to do, I just, most of the time, ended up doing really none of them. Even now, I actually have a 2,000-word script that I wrote when the chapter 138 of Attack on Titan came out. But I never just actually filmed it, because it was like, this would be cool to do, but I don't feel like doing it now. I have all these other things that I should probably do first, and doing this would require this and that, and, it's a very ADHD thing to not be able to do things if it requires some steps before actually doing the part you want to do. So like I can't just go hang out with a friend, because I know before I can actually get to the hanging out with a friend part, I need to get up from bed, get dressed, probably make sure I don't look like ass, literal ass, as in like ass as in donkey, and a donkey's ass. That's how bad I'm talking. Then I need to, make sure I'm fed. I can't go over there if I'm feeling hungry. I need to come up with a way to go over there. Like, it's just all these small extra steps before I get to doing the actual thing, which is hanging out. So even if I feel like hanging out and I would have the energy to hang out, I may not have the executive function to perform all these small mini tasks you need to do before getting to the main mission, so to say. So, like, I have 2,000 words of the essay there, but now the last chapter of Attack on Titan manga has rolled out, and what I wrote is no longer exactly relevant. Like, I would have to actually rewrite the entire script, basically, and it's hard for me to actually even compile my thoughts, because in order to make the proper script, I really need to revisit some of the older chapters so I can, like, double-check things and actually just, not just spout nonsense, that I can actually base my theories, analysis, all that jazz on facts, on what has happened in the manga. So I haven't been able to, because I was procrastinating for too long making that video on the chapter 138. I now have even more work to do, because I would have to rewrite the entire script, then do makeup, film the video, then edit it, then publish it. Even the step of publishing something is not easy, because in order to publish it, you need to, first you have to have a thumbnail. Making a thumbnail is work. It's one of my less favorite parts, really, because it's just, you need to make it somehow catchy and interesting, and yeah, I just struggle with it surprisingly much, even though I like like photo editing and all that shit. And then you need to come up with a catchy title that also is very descriptive. And then you also need to come up with like what to put in the description, like you always need to copy paste your social medias, have some maybe disclaimers, especially the video I would make on Attack on Titan, for example, would probably have to have like direct source quotations, like this info is from this chapter and this is based on this chapter. And it's just everything has too many steps for my brain to handle. Like I can only do one thing, like that one thing only I feel like doing. Like if I don't feel like doing something, it just doesn't really get done. Or if something is too complex and complicated, it also won't work either. Other video I've been putting off is sorting Animal Crossing New Horizons villagers based on what aesthetic / core they fit. I was trying to make a very comprehensive list. Okay, so you have these aesthetics in Animal Crossing New Horizons that most people use. Like some people are like, I'm gonna do my own fairy core, and I'm gonna do jungle core, and I'm gonna do goth, and all those things. And so far, I haven't seen really many videos telling you what villagers to get for your island. Like I've only seen one by Froggy Crossing, but that sadly only really goes into 4 different aesthetics, and it doesn't take into account the house looks, which is, in my opinion, very important. Like I think the house exterior matters to me more than what the actual villager looks like. So I've actually compiled a super comprehensive list in Word of all the villages. Well, not every villager fits any aesthetic really, but like all the aesthetics I could think of that I've seen floating around that people do, and then going through the villager list over and over again where they are where there's a picture of the villager and then the house exterior. You actually might really want to check that list. It's super useful. I don't remember. I'll probably plug it in this video, the link for the page where I check those. So you can go do that already yourself if you want to. But I swear one of these days I will finish that one too. But it was just so much work to first of all go through the villager list, not once, not twice. Probably scroll through all 400 or so fucking villagers 20 times or so. Taking screenshots, adding them to an aesthetic, then later realizing, oh right, this also fits this other aesthetic, then also putting it there, and it's been a whole hassle. So that one I haven't really figured out how to make it into a video per se, because I would have to also kind of script it. I can't just go on rambling, because otherwise it would end up being hours long, and no one wants to watch hours worth of just my autistic rambling. So yay, fun. So it has just felt like a too difficult task to follow entirely through with, It sucks that I'm struggling so much with doing streaming and doing YouTube. Well, actually, I haven't really even mentioned streaming yet. But, well, for streaming, I really want to look kind of half decent. I also want to stream something that will be interesting. Like, even now, I didn't want to stream because I'm not feeling very, making jokes and being entertaining. And I think my streams are a place where I just act kind of perverted, make very bad puns, very sexual jokes, but they're mostly lighthearted and fun. I'm not very good at doing serious streams, because if I stream and I'm supposed to oh yeah, hey chat, what are you doing? It gets immediately awkward. I can't keep up a conversation with my chat, and I also forget every single kind of sensical thought I may have had before streaming. I forget every single topic imaginable, even though usually when I'm faced with social situations, I could literally ramble on for hours about really anything. I'm too good at info dumping and getting derailed and going off a tangent of a tangent of a tangent. All of this has been very hard for my neurodivergent brain, but also I really feel like this is something I need to do, because as I said in my very first video, introduction, I have so much neurodiverse energy that I have all this creativity inside me, and I want to just vomit it out somewhere into the void. Just put it out there so it exists, so my brain can literally just fucking let it go. I can't let go of things. I get ideas. I can't rest until they have been executed by me or someone else. And most of the time, no one else is interested in taking up my ideas and making them into reality, so I need to do it myself. So this is a way to relieve myself of all these weird pressures. Oh, this sounds kind of wrong. But also doing this crazy stress, and I really don't know if it's worth it or not, but then the depression makes an extra complicator here. Like, normally I would have the energy to do this as a hobby and do it as such a consistent hobby that it might even become a future work, because, well, one of the big problems I'm also thinking of touching here, I'm actually improvising, I don't have a script, but before this I did kind of think like what I could go through. But one of the things was, it's so damn difficult to come up with a career that will be interesting enough to keep your ADHD mind focused, but like also just it needs to be very varied, but also it needs to be somewhat consistent and not too difficult, because, well, the autistic part of brain will go mad if it's not like predictable enough, if you can't do things on your own terms, your own way. Like, I guess becoming an entrepreneur would be something that then you could be your own boss and shit, but I really hate all the entrepreneurship stuff. I hate capitalism. I hate all that shit. I couldn't become an entrepreneur. So I think becoming a content creator is like the next best thing, because I can do whatever I fucking want. Pretty much mostly whenever I fucking want, except for I find that not to be exactly true either, because I also have to consider not only what I'm feeling like on a given day, like if I'm feeling like playing video games and streaming, or if I'm feeling like making a very funny XD video or a very angry serious rant, or I don't know, whatever this is, which I'm now making and feeling like. I also sadly need to take into consideration my partner, because, well, they have shit to do in their life too. I can't just be screaming in the middle of the night here, going on a rant video. I need to do these things when they are not trying to do something important like schoolwork, nor when they are wanting to have a nice couple moment, because it's obviously important to also spend time with your partner, you know. And unfortunately, that's why I've been only streaming like once or twice a week, so that I don't distract their schoolwork too much, and so that we can still have some evenings when we just spend time together, the two of us, because, well, streaming also takes time, both before and after the actual streaming. Like, even now, I'm studying biomedicine, because I think I like the things, but now I'm stuck with one course that I really just fucking hate. Biostatistics is fucking worse, and it should go burn in deepest hell. And I really don't know if it's worth it to struggle through with this whole thing, because I also have my interests fluctuate so much. Like, at one point I'm like really like, yeah, fuck yeah, I really want to become a neuroscientist like I did when I was 5. Like, that was my dream career. But at the moment I'm feeling kind of like not really sure if I'm that into it, or, to be honest. It's just, there's so many things that are also not nice, and I'm very bad at tolerating boring and uninteresting things, which is part of having ADHD and depression. Like, bad things hit extra hard when you have depression, and boredom is the worst imaginable thing when you are ADHD. It's just, yeah, I really wish more people knew what it was like to be ADHD and autistic, because it is more than just having ADHD symptoms and having autism symptoms, because some of the symptoms exaggerate one another. Like, it goes just unimaginable levels of neurodivergence, and in some things the traits of the other one kind of undo the traits of the other one. So, for example, as an autistic person, I really like having like timetables, schedules, you know, having a very structured and regular life. But my ADHD makes me completely unable to have a routine for myself. Like, I can't keep up even a proper fucking sleep-wake cycle. Even that is too much to ask, let alone having regular dinner times and whatnot. So, yeah, it's just, it's a hassle and a half, and it requires extra attention and care and things to consider if you have both autism and ADHD, compared to having only one or the other. or theoretically having just one pair of symptoms plus the other pair of symptoms. Like, no, some of the symptoms get exaggerated, some get diminished. I guess I really just needed to, well, first let all of this off my chest. Hopefully spread some awareness by making fart noises into the void. Yeah. By making this video and putting it out there for people to hopefully see. Oh gosh, I realize I'm now doing very autistic things, which is mimicking someone I've been recently watching on YouTube. this is awkward. Holy shit, I don't even know if I'm my own person or if I'm just a combination of all the things I've ever seen that I've liked. Because that's how the autism brain is. I just go and suck up all the behaviors and mannerisms and speech patterns of whomever I've been recently influenced by. But yeah, I hope this will firstly helps you maybe understand if you have someone you know struggling with having autism, ADHD, and maybe even depression, or if you yourself are like that. And well, in general, it's just good to know, you know. Nah, I don't even know. But also, if anyone even gives two shits about me and my awesome career here as a content creator, this is the reason why I struggle so much with being a regular creator, because I can't keep up schedules. I literally can't. I am unable to. No, like, I can't even try having a regular upload or stream schedule, because there's just so many variables on what I'm feeling like and what my partner is feeling like, and nope. I'm not gonna stress myself over making myself some deadlines. But also because I don't have deadlines, I have nothing forcing me to do content regularly. And sometimes when I actually feel like, okay, I should do content now, in those times I get overwhelmed with there being too many things I could do and should do, and then I'm like, this is too much. There's too many things. Time to just literally do none of them, like the champion I fucking am. So I hope this helps you understand why my content is irregular, weird, whatever like this. If you want to kind of keep updated on what's happening when there will be content and where, you really need to follow me on Twitter, because, well, okay, sometimes I even procrastinate opening my fucking Twitter, like the past 2 days, but I will always tell when I'm streaming over there. I will tell if I'm putting out a YouTube video over there. I also usually tell if I'm not putting up a stream on times that I probably normally would, because, well, I try to stream at least twice a week, unless I actually really just don't feel like it, because I don't want to force myself. I don't want to be unauthentic, and, well, what even is the point of doing something you'd normally like, but doing it when you are not feeling like it, so you don't actually like doing it at the moment? It's just like such a waste. You could do it when you actually feel like it and get enjoyment, dopamine and shit out of it. And I really love how this lighting just keeps changing. It's almost as consistent as I am. Very, very fitting. Thank you, Mr. Lamp. Also, in Twitter, I talk actually a lot about ADHD and autism, because, well, for some reason my Twitter feed is just full of other people with autism and or ADHD, and I really vibe with them, so I reply to them and share my own experiences. So you should also check that out if any of these felt even slightly relevant. But yes, I'll see. I'll see when I actually manage to edit this video, because right now I was just feeling like filming this video, not editing it nor publishing it yet. But eventually all things will come out, and just gotta be patient. They may not be always at the most relevant time point. Like, I'll probably be missing the hottest top relevancy of the Attack on Titan ending rant video, but I don't really care that much, because the biggest point is for me to be able to put my thoughts out there, so they won't be bottled up inside me, and maybe they can even wake up some discourse. Well, maybe not discourse, more so just communication and like, well, civil discourse. Civil discourse is cool, yes. I want to wake up some conversations. I want to provoke thoughts and thoughts. Yes. Actually, now that I've been filming this, I've started to feel a bit more cheerful. So, thank you for watching this. Because, well, I guess if literally no one watched this, I don't think I could keep putting this out, because then I would really feel like it's pointless. I might as well just yell into the void without going through the trouble of filming it, editing it, and putting it out there. I could just ramble these thoughts out like without filming them. But since you right there, you fellow humanoid, are there, I can ramble like this and feel like I'm not screaming entirely into nothingness. Like, it's mostly me screaming into nothingness, but sometimes the void answers back, and I like that. But anyways, thank you. I still haven't figured out a way to end my videos, so bye bye. Words. How do I use words? And the light is nice, and I have a hat, yes.